face this way. Camera's over there. How come you don't like to turn around anymore? Hello. See, it's afternoon where you're at. It's 7 o'clock here, or almost 7 o'clock. Started 2 minutes early. It's going to be a short chat tonight. This will probably be next week. Darla will be here, so hopefully we get home. I think we're coming back next Sunday. We got my youngest, my brand new grandson's going to get baptismal thing done. So, hey Zach, how you doing? Jason, Captain, Julio, and Seymour, and Jerry Burns. Wow, quite a crowd already. Pretty nice. Yeah. So anyway, that's what be going on, and I've just been trying to get some stuff done around here, but it just seems like I'm not real good at it right now. I think right now it's 90, basically 91 degrees, so it's kind of warm. But it's supposed to get hotter. It's supposed to get hotter by next weekend. So, oh, there she is. There's DDK. That's Darla right there. Thanks, Zach. Harvey Quilt Quest. How are you? Mellow Cat. Amanda. Wow, we're getting a lot of people. See, Dar, don't you wish you were here? When you're not here, for some reason, we get a bunch of people, but they're expecting you to be here. So, and look at Cage; he won't even look. Look, it's over here. You don't want to. You don't want to be on TV, huh? It's just a little warm out. Yeah. Steve Moran's here. Good to see you, Steve. Yeah, a Sunday evening without me, one of us can at least coming on here and making some noise. I've noticed lately it seems like all you can really watch is political stuff. It's kind of hard to watch constantly. So, but you coming from me, you would think that would be something I would say, but it's true. It gets after a while. The bad part about it is something comes out and then 8 different people do it. So it's just that's all you do. Just sit there and watch the same thing over and over and over again. It kind of gets I mean, I like to know what's going on, but I mean, comes a point where it gets repetitious. Anyway, exciting things that have happened this week to me. Basically nothing. Just been trying to get this lawn, get it knocked down a little bit, man. The grass grows so fast right now. I mean, it's just screaming. We usually have rocks out here, but you can't even see the rocks because the grass is growing so fast. And where I'm driving, you're starting to see the rocks pop out. But what is our next work gig? Well, as far as I can tell, it's probably going to be courtside. I think we're going to just kind of hang around here for a while. Yeah, we are in Arkansas. Darla's not in Arkansas right now. She's in Georgia at our youngest daughter's. And she'll be coming back to Arkansas on Thursday. And then I'm going to go over to my youngest daughter's, be there for a couple of days, and then probably be bringing her back. Fast question. I've had 4 times this month already. Yeah. Well, the neighbor next door, she's been mowing our yard ever since we've had this place, and she's kind of struggling really bad, and I went over and talked to her about it. She's like, "Well, it's just so hot. It's just I just don't feel good." I go, "Well, you want me to get someone else?" But she likes the money, so just have to see. I don't know. I might have to get someone because I don't want her to, like pass out or any of that stuff over here. So she's not going to weed eat anymore, and I need to get someone that can do the weed eating too. Seymour will be in Quartzsite. I'm in Flagstaff now. Yeah, I hear it's even hot there, and you're pretty high up in altitude there. Usually it's cooler, a lot cooler there, but Peptique is going to Quartzsite. All right, cool. Well, it sounds like we may have a lot of people there. We'll be staying at the Lazy Days uh, RV park there in Quartzsite, and it's LA-Z and then DAZE RV park. So if anyone's interested, all you really got to do is call them up, and they kind of put us all together. We usually have fires every night, have a pretty good group of people, and this last year was $250 a month, which by the time it would the long term visitor area, it's a pretty good deal. But the thing about it is that you have to, anytime you want to dump your tanks or stuff, you got to disconnect, drive over and dump and refill and everything, and they don't charge you for that. You pay one flat fee. But I don't know. I just like being able to park and put my covers on, because we always stay a month and hook up and not have to leave. It's basically like I am right here, right now on our property, so it makes it kind of convenient. But just so people know, we do a job there, and part of that job is pays for that campsite. So that's another reason why we do it. We used to stay there. We used to stay at a place where we were boondocking, but they charge us for everything. You got water, you had to pay for that. If you dump, you had to pay for that. It was $7 a day to stay there. By the time I figured it all out, it was just cheaper to go stay in the campground. So that's why we did that. If you guys all hit the like button, it will get our algorithm going and maybe bring some more people on too. That's what I heard the other day. So thank you. I see it going up. That's a good thing. Appreciate it. It is free. $250 is reasonable. Yeah, it used to be. I think when we first started going there, it was like $175 a month, but they've been gradually going up. And the reason why I say I think it's $250 again this year. I don't know whether they just raised it this last year to $250. It was $200 before, and then the year before it was $225, and then this year they went to $250. So hopefully they don't raise it any more than that, because you can price yourself out there pretty easily. I mean, like I say, for us, because they pay for our campsite, you know, I don't want them to, if they get too high, then I'm sure the company's going to say, hey, or whatever. So, but it's not a bad play. I mean, it doesn't have a pool or any of that kind of stuff, but it does have full hookups, and they, it's a pretty casual place. And we've been staying there, I don't know, 7-8 years, something like that. So it's still reasonable compared to other places in town. Yeah, I know some of the places they get $700 a month. I can't see spending $700 to stay in Quartzsite. That's ridiculous. But if other places have more things too. Hey, Rich, how you doing? You're here, and I'm here too. Doesn't get much more exciting than that, huh? But anyway, yeah, it's been interesting. the things going on with YouTube is I don't know. It's kind of weird. They say they're really relaxing, giving people more of a, the First Amendment stuff, but a lot of the YouTubers are kind of complaining about what they are getting. So the thing is that if you're gonna be on this, where the people are at, where people are watching and stuff, you kind of have to play by the rules at this point. If you want to go and say whatever you want to say, you go to Rumble, but then you don't have as many people following you at that point. So let's see. What do you think a 1970 Sportster shovel? What do I think about it? Well, it depends. If it's running, makes a big difference. It's a right-hand shift. Most of your Harleys are left-hand shift. They didn't make Sportsters right-hand shift till '73. I think was the first year that they went to they. And what it is, there's just a shaft that goes through the frame, and they reverse the brake, and the shifter ran the shaft for the brake. So I don't know. It's iron head, all that, anything like the old anything shovel head and older is seems to be worth some money. Like I say, if it's running, that's a good thing. If it's not running, you could. The bad thing about a Sportster, the good thing about a Sportster is you can usually get it pretty cheap. Bad thing about a Sportster, it costs you as much to fix a Sportster up as it does to fix up a big twin. And the thing with a Sportster is you can't get as much money out of them. But I like Sportsters. I think they're pretty good. I know how to work on them. We had our shop. All the other shops around, they didn't like Sportsters. They wouldn't work on them. Or they didn't know how to work on them, I guess. And I found it pretty easy to work on. Not that difficult to me. Why, did you find one, Jason? Saying hi from West Virginia. How you doing, Ron? Ron Silva. Well, hi back. Yeah, I don't know. I think things here. The bad thing about the older bikes right now is that everybody wants so much money for them. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, my stepdad and I went to the Harley dealer, and this was like in 1970, and he goes, "Go look under all those bikes over there and tell me which one's not leaking, brand new on the showroom floor." And well, this one and that one and that one, and so he went and told the guy, he goes, "I want that one right there." that's how that's how he picked his bike out, the one that wasn't leaking. Is you better know how to fix it? Yeah, well, fortunately for me, I do. So, but you could still get screwed on them. What they always got to do is look underneath on that motor case, and if you see a big crack or a hole in it, you'll know something. I had a guy who was trying to sell me a 1950 pan, and I was talking to him about it, and I go, "Does it run?" He says, "Well, no, it doesn't run." And I said, "Well, okay, well, what do you ask it for?" He said, "Well, I'd like to get 15,000 for it. It's all original." And I said, "Well, that it doesn't run." I said, "It seems like it's a lot of money." And I said, "Do the wheels roll? The flywheels?" And he goes, "No, it's locked up." Well, right there, um, that could be anything. So I just told him, I said, "Well, it's worth probably 7 or 8 grand at that point, unless you want to buy something with a destroyed motor." He didn't know what was wrong with it, so he said that he thought it had seized or something. But that could be not too bad, or it could be real bad. It just depends. There is a raffle for charity that has one. Yeah, I think the oldest Sportster I ever did that I ever, reconditioned was like a 1961. And this guy had taken on that, the cylinder heads are steel, and the cylinders are steel. The engine cases are aluminum. But he had taken it, had everything, including the engine case. Everything on that thing was chrome, and he brought it to me to put it together. And I looked at it. I told him, I go, that they didn't protect any of the bushings or anything. They chromed everything. And he goes, well, you could still put it together, Kate. I said, no, you gotta take all that chrome out, or it won't run for 10 minutes, and it'll just come apart on you. And he paid me to do it, so I sat there and cleaned all those bushings out. And I told him, I said, you don't really plan on riding this, do you? He goes, well, yeah, I was thinking about it. I said, well, it's gonna get really hot. That's why they paint them black. If it was if it was wise to chrome an engine, they chrome them all. But they chrome the valve covers. They don't chrome the cylinder heads and the cylinders, man. They cook them. So anyway, put it all together. It ran, and I told him, no guarantee on the motor, and he took it. So he wasn't going to ride it much. I think he was an old guy too. He had that bike since it was like brand new or something. He said something about giving it to his grandson. And I said, well, you giving him a nice sculpture to look at, something to sit in the living room and look at. Do you want it? Do I want it? Why'd you win it? If it's a Harley, I take anything. I know where there's had a 57 900 kick myself for getting rid of it. Stuff you do when you're young. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I had a 65 Panhead I could kick myself for getting rid of. I had a buddy that bugged me to death about that bike. And this bike the thing was, I used to go to these ride-in bike shows, and I just pull it in park. I didn't even, enter the bike show. And the next day I walk by my bike, and there's a tag on the headlight. And I go, what's that? Oh, well, we just saw your bike sitting here. We wanted it in the show. And half the time I would win. I always had to go and find the way to get the biggest trophy home. My mom drove a 64 Rambler. Yeah. Well, I had some cool cars too. I had I had 3 Mustangs and a Nova and a Ranchero. They were all pretty trick cars, pretty nice. It was a 57, whatever year, the first year they came out with the Sportster. Yeah, well, actually there were Sportsters that were earlier than that, but they were called K models. I think they started like in 53 or 54. You see that picture with Elvis sitting on what looks like a Sportster. That's a K model. It's a flathead. But I think 57 or 58, somewhere around there, is when they first came out with overhead valve motor. They were pretty cool. I enjoy. I like working on all the old bikes. I know when there's like a 2000 Dyna. It's a twin cam motor, and it had some kind of a problem. And these guys took it all apart and pulled the cams out of it and everything, and it's all just in a million pieces. And the thing is I offered the guy $1,000 for it because I think it's probably pretty easy fix. It looks like it just has cam problems. And I looked at the cam plate; it looked okay. Probably need new cams and stuff like that. What goes out on those are the tensioners. Have these little tensioners. Does Lazy Days have a shower room? I don't think so. They used to, but I don't think they do anymore. Kind of have to have total self-contained, but there is a couple of truck stops. so you can always go there. Um, they should, but that would be something you could call them to find out. Do you think Flying J is still good for overnight on our way to Southern Cal? I am considering Bakersfield before we go into Orange County. Well, yeah, I, in California, I don't think you can stay at Walmart's anymore. They pretty much have tried to outlaw everything. Hi, Maddie. How you doing? I'm good. I miss all you guys. Well, glad to have you back. I was wondering where you've been, but yeah, flying J's are great. I mean, if you're going to travel cross country, for the most part, flying J's are. If you stay southern in the southern areas, they're uh, they're owned by pilots, and they're pretty good. I always go there because they have a chrome shop in there, and they have a coffee, big coffee area, and they got all kinds of stuff like that. Plus, usually they have a um, a Denny's restaurant. They have propane and a dump station and water, so they're pretty good. I mean, they have the most services, and like I say, Walmart's. A lot of times at the Walmart's in California, you get into a Walmart, you're not in there very long, and they start hassling you. Let's see. Hi, Ron. Ron Darrell Adventures. I don't know if you guys have been watching him. I go on there every chance I get. He does just like a little, kind of like what I'm doing right now is what he does. Ron, I was on there the other morning, and I was gonna go on with you, and when I clicked to go on the thing, I guess you went off or something. You had signed off or something, so I couldn't get on there. Laundromat townhouse showers. That's true. That's correct. And I know a lot of people go there. Oh God. Oh, bye, John. Tell Patty hi. Park in the back so you don't piss off the truckers. Yeah. Well, when you go to Flying J's, the Flying J's, you go in where the cars go, and they have RV aisles that are just for RVers, and then they have RV parking, which are about 50 feet long. So I hang out a little bit. I pull a little bit further through, and then I leave a little bit hanging out the back because I'm about 58 feet. But never had a problem. I'll tell you what, the trucks. I have been, I think, a couple of times where we went into Flying J's and the truckers were parking in there, and they scream and yell if you park in their area, but it's like not a big deal if they do it to the RVers. But usually, if you go in and complain, they'll make the truckers move. I don't, because I mean these guys are working. We'll just find somewhere else to park. We get you up on panel, yeah. That's what I was talking about, Ron. You had a thing on there. You told me to go click on it, and you put me up on there or whatever. And I went, and when I clicked, they had me go through a big long, or I had to sign up or whatever. And then when I did click to go on, you were off. You were already off the air. I just drove straight to California from Texas. I stopped at a Flying J. It was awesome. They have everything you need. As well lit, friendly employees. I stopped there with my little dog. Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what. It's probably for me and Darla. I believe if Darla's still on there, she'll agree. I think Flying J's are the best. I think they are the best because, like I say, you need to get propane, they have propane. If you need to dump your tanks, they dump. You can dump your. Now, certain times of the year in certain areas, when it gets cold, they shut the water off. But you can still dump your tanks. You just can't flush them out or anything. And I hook up, man. When they have the faucets there, I hook up and I flush my whole system and I dump the 5-gallon bucket of water down the commode. I always do that. That's something I think that if you're a full time RVer, and especially like here when I'm sitting still like this, I dump that 5 gallons of water down every time after I bombs away and I got the flush running. And then I go in there and I dump that 5 gallons of water down. And if Darla's here, she'll do it. And I can see, man, a whole different bunch of stuff because stuff kind of builds up in the corners of those tanks. And, when you pull the lever, it kind of takes, like a pretty good percentage of it, but stuff gets hung up in there. And when you dump that 5 gallons down there as fast as you can get it to go, man, it just goes tidal waves, it washes it out. So I deliver RVs for a couple years. The J was where I stayed. Yeah. See, we're getting a lot of confirmation on flying J's. And usually, like I say, you'll they have like stripes. They have like an area, and some of them too. I had one time we were in a place, Flying J, and it was packed, and I was getting ready to just hit the road. And the guy came out and he said, "Hey, just go over there where it's red over there. You can just park along that red curb." I said, "Well, it's not going to be a problem." He goes, "I'm the manager here." And he goes, "I'm going to be here all night, so you just go park over there. If anyone says anything, I'll take care of it." So it could beat that. Super caffeinated. Maddie, wow, Maddie, super caffeinated. No caffeine, just straight adrenaline. Thank you for the feedback. I am more concerned with California than the other states. California does not seem to be as friendly, RV friendly as other states. California is not friendly about anything. California, they're not a. It used to be a whole different place. It used to be when Darla and I grew up there because we were born and raised there. We grew up there, and we grew up in L.A. area, L.A. County, and man, it was great. I mean, I went surfing all the time, and we cruised. I cruised the boulevard, had motorcycles, and I mean the whole thing, the whole lifestyle was just. It was like watching American Graffiti. It was that kind of a world, the Beach Boys and all that kind of stuff. It was just really cool. And now you go there and I don't know, it's really getting run down and they don't take care of anything and they're trying to figure out, how to get separate you from your money. And, it's just not right. I guess there's a new thing now they're trying to pass that they're going to set up these cameras and it's statewide. And if you go 11 miles an hour over the speed limit, you get a $50 ticket. And depending on how fast over the speed limit you go, and you don't know how many, you could have 15 tickets. And when you get home and you check your mail, there are going to be all these tickets. You could owe all this money. So, I mean, it's kind of scary. I mean, you got to just, it's like here in Arkansas, the speed limit everywhere is 55, and I like it. I don't mind it. Kind of like the thing is the speed limit is 55 and I do 55 and the cars behind me don't like it, then you can go around me or whatever you got to do. But, I don't want to get a ticket. And they've been doing things where they can radar on the highway out here. So I've just gotten it in my head now, sometimes I get up to 60 like going down hills because we're in what they call the hill country. It goes up, it goes down. It's like this all around. But, yeah, I just cruise it, man. I love going to town because it's just a nice, beautiful drive. It's kind of relaxing. Everything will like the Flying J. Very safe. I stopped going and coming. Yeah. Okay, that's Maddie. Yep. Bill, where is your partner in crime, Darla, and your little sidekick Cage? Well, Cage is right here. Here's Cagey right here. He's not very sociable. He was on the show last week too, and he did the same thing. I don't know what it is. Mom's it right now. She's in Georgia. My youngest daughter's visiting with them, and then she's going to fly back to Little Rock, and I'm going to be going over to Little Rock and spending a few days. And my grandson on next Sunday is going to be baptized. So do that, and then as soon as that's over with, we probably won't stay for the whole church service. Her church services are like 9 hours or something. It's crazy. So we'll probably just come back after that. Ron Darrell Adventures. How's the RV delivery workout? Up to Julio, but 1 week. What? Oh, okay. Yeah, trucks are too high. That's what I hate about driving. Are the tailgaters? Yeah. Well, the worst part are the Texans. They're used to driving 85 miles an hour. They come here and they want to drive 85 miles an hour up these 55-mile-an-hour roads, and the bridges are narrow. And you see a big truck coming the other way. You're in this motorhome. I slow down because I don't want to meet them on those bridges because you'll lose a mirror. So you just have to kind of keep your head. And in my truck, it's not a big problem, but in this motorhome, it's a 104-inch wide motorhome. It's pretty wide. Same with Washington State. Gas here is over $5 a gallon, and they want to move to a pay by the mile. Nuts. Yeah, well, it's one thing good about around here. I hate to tell people this stuff because everybody will want to come here, but everything's cheaper. Everything's cheaper. Food's cheaper. Taxes are cheaper. The only thing they have like a thing once a year where you like I have to pay a tax on the motorhome. I have to pay a tax on the truck, but it's not very bad. It's not like the taxes the taxes on our house before. Shoot, man, I could have 10 of these motorhomes and 20 of them trucks. It wasn't as much. It just it's just one of those deals. They do have a sales tax on stuff. But food's a lot cheaper, and we seem to. What's interesting is a lot of the places that we've gone cross country this last year. Sometimes you walk in and the stores are, the WalMarts anyway, are understocked. Man, they have a lot of holes. And of course, I haven't been over here to our store. Well, I went over to get one item when we first got here, but I haven't really walked through the store since I've been back. But I haven't heard anything about it. We've had a couple of restaurants closed, but we got a couple of new ones opening up, and the ones that closed were terrible. So it was no surprise to me. Problem I have, Texas drivers here in Kentucky, is they don't know how to go around curves. So here they drive too slow. Well, they don't drive slow here around the curves. And I had one day we were going to when I was having the stuff for my leg. These guys were pulling these big trailers, and they had side by sides on them. and they come right up on you, man, and almost running in the back of my truck, and then passing me on the curb on a curve with a double yellow. And so his next buddy come up, and I just pulled over and let him go by, and got up to the next light, man, and they turned right and I turned left into the McDonald's. Come on, we like it. It's quiet. Yeah. Yeah, Jason and Amanda, they lived on our property here for almost a year, I guess, and now they're living at their place. They built a barn dominium, and yeah, it's small town, Everybody, I go down here to the restaurant while Darla's away. I go over there just about every morning and have breakfast, and get to know everybody, and you see the same people constantly, and really nice, down home folks, and it's just a different kind of a world. It's you don't have to worry about too much here. Not all Texas drivers are idiots. Well, no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that you I've been down in Texas many times, and you get out like on 35, Highway 35 and stuff, and the speed limit's 85. And the big trucks with all they're hauling all kinds of gigantic stuff because all the oil rigs and stuff down there, they're going 85 miles an hour. And I don't drive this motorhome that with towing that pickup. I don't drive over 65. And I mean, man, they go by. That's all you can do is keep it from blowing off the road. It's crazy. But that's just that's their thing. I mean, everything is bigger and faster, I guess, in Texas. But here, it's kind of like when you go somewhere new, you kind of learn what it's about, where you're going, and try to kind of conform so that you don't seem too you when you got Arkansas plates and you go somewhere, this guy's only doing 62. They just kind of go around you and don't bother you. But I mean, you just got to do what you got to do. But I try to, when I'm in just my truck, my pickup, I try to run the speed limit, but I'm not going to do 40 miles an hour over the speed limit. They run so fast, suck the paint off all your rig. Yeah, it's scary. When I was working, it seemed like always in a hurry to get somewhere. But since I've retired, 50 miles an hour sounds good. Yeah, well, and the thing is when I'm going somewhere and a big truck comes up behind me, if I can find a place and I can tell he's in a hurry or something, he's working. So I try to get out of his way so he can roll. I don't want to. I don't want to slow him up if I can help it. But I'm not gonna speed up to 75 miles an hour just so that they can go 75. My RV tires are rated for 75 miles per hour max. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think mine are higher than that. I got the Toyos, but it's just the thing is this thing likes to run about 62 miles per hour. That's where it likes to run. It gets the best mileage, and I can stop it usually without too much problem. It's just a good speed. You know, I pull at 68, just stay in left lane, left hand lane. Yeah. Well, I that's why if there's two lanes, I'll always stay in the right lane. I unless I have to get around somebody that's crawling, but or if there's I do the thing where people are on the side of the road or the cops are on the side of the road or something. I get over, go past them, and then I get back in the right lane. And but a lot of times you can't do that because you always get somebody right up next to you, and I mean they could be way back there. They can see what's going on, and they get right up alongside of you. Right. Oh, okay. Oh, you stay in the right lane. All right. Yeah. Well, that's if I'm doing 62 and I come up behind a truck that's doing 55 or something, now I'm going to go around them. But I wait till I got a good throw, and then because I got cruise on this thing, and I usually just have the cruise control set. So I'll get up and I'll get up to 70 to get around them, and then I just let off the throttle, and at 62 it picks back up. And I'm back at my cruising speed again. Yeah, well, I've had a lot of experience with truckers. My dad was a trucker, my stepdad was a trucker, and my brother he's a trucker, and but you're right. My brother and his truck, man, he needs to put wings on that thing. He goes so fast it can fly. But I don't think he's a dangerous driver. I just think he's always trying to get the job done. I love to find a good group of trucks and just follow and relax. Yeah, like we were coming back here from Kentucky, um, we stopped in Memphis at the. Here's another good place to stay is the Pyramid, the Bass Pro Shop there off of 40, and you kind of have to park underneath the bridges that go over the Mississippi River, and you can hear the trucks banging and stuff at night. But you know, after staying in Kentucky, a quarter of a mile off the freeway, it was seemed quiet. But we just kind of stayed there, and I got up about 3:30 in the morning, and we took off, and we were here midday, and just nice. I like to get out there with the truckers in the middle of the night, and they got plenty of room to get around me, and I could just when it's just me and them, it's pretty cool. Turtle racing, yeah. Let's see, I was a trucker for 20 years, including owning a truck company. Huh. Yep. That's one thing. I've driven my brother's Pete drove it one time, but he had me driving it at like 3 o'clock in the morning on a really narrow little road going out. We were going to Hot Springs out that way, and it's all uphill and downhill. And all I told him, I said, man, I need you to drive this thing. I don't want to take your truck out. Oh, you're doing all right. You're doing all right. I said, nah. So I didn't ask him to drive it anymore after that. I've driven all over, but I think 35 is the worst interstate in Texas. It's fast one. It's a really fast one. Like I say, that they haul some really heavy loads down that road, and the tents. I mean, anybody that's full time RVing right now, traveling around the country, knows what I'm talking about. The highways suck. They are just getting chewed up, and they're not fixing them. They're just they're not even patching them anymore. We've hit some bumps. I'm telling you, I thought the front axle was going to come out from underneath this motorhome, and I mean, they tax the crap out of us. We should be driving on glass, but we're not. So there's my rant for the night. I haul envelopes for Medco company mainly. Yeah, envelopes. Yeah, my brother hauls. Of course, his truck is a ranch truck, and so he hauls what they call gin trash, which is when they're done processing cotton, what's left over is called gin trash. And his cows love to eat it, and his neighbors around here, their cows love to eat it. So he goes down, he'll haul sometimes 2 loads a day. He goes down, I think, down to Texas or somewhere to get it. And yeah, he does that. Then he does chicken litter. Him and my nephew, they go clean out chicken houses, and then they take the stuff and they sell it in Louisiana or somewhere. I don't know, but they do. He does pretty good. I mean, he's definitely an entrepreneur. You know, what's your next gig, Bill? My next gig at this point, as far as I know, is going to be courtside. We'll be going to courtside, and we'll be there the 1st of January. We'll be there for a month, and then I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do after that. After doing Colorado gate guarding, I have not been breathing right ever since. And in fact, when Darla gets back, I'm going to the doctor, and I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I've got some things. You put a couple of drops underneath your tongue, and it's supposed to rejuvenate your lungs. I had some other stuff, and it helped a little bit, but it wasn't doing the trick. But I just got this stuff like 2 days ago, and they say give it at least like 2 weeks, and you should really start noticing a difference. So we'll see. Your lungs and your liver are the only part of your body that will usually rejuvenate, clean them out, stuff like that. But I mean, I lay down at night, man. I sound like I'm just wheezing. It's horrible. I hate it. It wakes me up. And the where we were at in Colorado, there's so many trucks on that road constantly, and the dirt and the dust and the wind, and oh man, it just was tearing me up. And I was like, okay, well, we only got like another week or so, and we finally got out of there, and it just hasn't got much better. So I don't know. Come out to Florida for the winter and hang out. Hey, it's RV bandwagon with my band. You'll make us look cool. Oh yeah. What are you in a musical band? Is that what you're in? Okay, you put it in there twice. Um, Hi Leah, there's my oldest daughter right there. Yeah, Valerie. Did you say entrepreneur? Yes, that's what I call it. Darla and I were entrepreneurs for a long time, trying to make a living, and I have no regrets because we were able to spend a lot of time with our kids, and we were able to. Darla was able to homeschool them, and we always worked together. And a lot of times, I ran companies. I ran a wholesale electronics company out of our house, out of a garage, and I'll tell you, I made more money doing that than anything I ever did. We made pretty good money doing that. And then when I first started my motorcycle shop, I did an add-on to my property and my house, and made the house really big and put a nice shop. And I worked out of my house, and I had a city license and everything. It worked out really great. And then I had some competition. The guys that used to be my customers went to my suppliers and complained about it. And Drag Specialties, my guy came and goes, "Hey man, I got to cut you off." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, he was like freaked out. So then I went and got a building. I spent a lot of money. I spent $20,000 on the inside of the building before I even moved in. So I put a lot of money into it, and we were in there, and I liked it. I really liked it because it kept what I didn't like about having the motorcycle shop at my house is on Sunday morning, this guy was having a problem and they were going on a ride. I'd hear them out there revving up their bikes for me to come out there and work on the bikes. And one thing nice about having the shop, they could go over there and rev up all they wanted. They weren't bothering me then. George just came in and says, "Hi, Papa." Like one of my grandsons. I think my ex-wife called me something that had moo in it. Yeah, yeah, maybe. You never know. Them ex-wives, they're fun. I don't know. I've never had one. I just found out from a friend that his daughter named their son Cage. Haven't talked to them in years. That's crazy. Well, his name is Cage, but it's spelled Caije. And the story is how he got his name is back in the 60s, there was a TV show called Combat with Vic Morrow and Rick Jason and Sergeant Saunders and all. And one of the guys in the squad, his name was Cage, and he was French. And it was always, "Hey, take Cage, take the point." And I always thought that was just a cool name. And I actually thought about it for my son, but we were doing biblical. I couldn't find Cage in the Bible. So anyway, he got Stephen, and this guy got Cage. So do not tell them it was your dog's name. Well, yeah, it's all right. He would be honored to if they named their kid after him, our little doggy. My new grandson, Leah Valerie, there, she just named her new my new grandson, my name is his middle name. And I have two other grandsons that have my middle name. My son has my middle name, Michael. So it's Stephen Michael, and then there's Caleb Michael, and then there's Logan Michael, and now there's Leah. My brother's name is John and William, so John William is his name. So Georgie keeps waving at the screen and saying hi. Oh, he'll see me soon enough. I'll be there later on this week. Wow, it's amazing how time just goes so fast when I do this. It's been 50. I was going to just be on here for a few minutes. It's already 51 minutes in. Gideon's middle name is William too. Oh yeah, huh? See how that's working out? At least someone likes me, huh? Well, William was my grandfather's name. There's Trey. Hey Trey, how you doing? Miss you, friend. We are driving through the canyon, going to Jackson Hole. Just wanted to say hi. Well, what you should do is drive through Mina Hole over here, and you can come visit us and stay for a few days. You know, we got a spot now here. Wave at your grandson. Hi, Georgie. The redhead. He's a redhead, man. Fiery red. Yeah, so anyway, we're getting close to the sign out time. But yeah, I want to say I appreciate you guys watching our lives and our videos, and it seems like you stick with us even sometimes when we kind of disappear for a while. But it's really hard for us because we are living the full time RV lifestyle where we're having to work and stuff like that, and it's uh, it's more out of necessity. I'll tell you, man. Anymore, the Social Security thing with the way the prices and stuff is just going crazy. They keep trying to tell us that it's not, but that's all lies. All you have to do is go to the store and you'll know. But it makes it hard, you know. I mean, you gotta. I wish I could set something up here where I could just twist wrenches a little bit. If I could restore some old bikes, man, I could probably do it. But I don't know. To put up a building is going to cost some good money. Even if I could just get that little shack done, which now I'm thinking about it, we're going to make it a little bit bigger because with all the grandkids and everything, we want to be able to have them be able to come and stay with us. So we're going to make it a little bigger, but it just means it's going to take a little more time to do. So, and then I could just put up a little. Doesn't have to be real super big. I don't need to work on 20 or 30 bikes like I used to have. Used to have to figure out how to fit all these bikes into the shop at night, man. It got pretty tight sometimes. But you know, just a few would be nice. Love our little tribe here. Yeah, I'm glad. I do too. I really enjoy visiting with you guys, and I just think I hear a lot of, you know, I talk with other YouTubers and stuff, and they talk about, well, you know, we have a lot of problems with people, you know, hassling us and all this kind of stuff. And we really don't. We've been pretty lucky. I did have one guy kind of, I don't know, I wasn't really angry or anything, but he just kind of hit me the wrong way with the way he kind of put things to me, and I did a video about it. And I hope he didn't leave. I don't remember what his name is. That wasn't. It didn't matter. It was a generic thing to me, and I kind of let I kind of let it pretty good about letting things go. When I had my motorcycle shop, when I was building custom bikes, you know everything went pretty good till you got the about the last 2 weeks, and then it was always, well, how much longer, and you know, when's it going to be done, and you know, I would just tell people, I go, you know, if you want it really bad, you're going to get it really bad. So now's not the time to give me a bet, you know, hassle me. I'm almost done. I mean, it may not look like it's ready to fire up, but believe me, it's almost done. You'll come over here one day and it's going to be done. Just relax. Just let me do what I got to do because I don't want to miss anything and I want to do it right. And you know, the thing about it is the day it's done, the time they waited is all forgotten. You know, that that's just how things go. That's just the way it is. And I've gotten to the point with the YouTube thing. I mean, our analytics is it's so weird because there's like there's somebody out there that has like 4 channels or something, and what they're subscribed to us, and what they'll do is is if we have like a little upswing, they'll unsubscribe from me and watch if my numbers go down. It like freaks me out. Like what the heck? And then a couple days later, it comes back up. So I don't know. It's either that or it's the YouTube doing it. It's probably YouTube doing it. But anymore, I don't let them get to me. Have a great week. We will be plugging away at the barn, slowly but surely. Yeah, and when Darla's supposed to be back here this weekend, probably on Sunday we'll be back, and then we'll set up a time. We'll come and check it out. Bill, I used to build cedar strip kayaks. It was the same as the bikes. Yeah. Well, it's just you know I used to paint in the wintertime. I would do most of my painting. I had a spray booth in my shop at my house, and I used to paint in there. And one time I got some bad paint, and I'm telling you what, I could not lay anything out and have it work. And I finally ended up getting the paint rep, come over, and I set it all up. So, well, here, I need you. I go, I'm just not that good a painter, you know. I just need you to show me how to lay this stuff out. And she takes it. She goes, shh, whoa, it's not supposed to do that. And I said, okay, that's all I wanted to hear because I'm being told that I don't know how to paint. I've been painting since I was a young kid. I go, I know how to spray this stuff, you know. I want to build a 50s era gas garage like he's run across on Route 66 and mostly just sit out front and BS and tinker on vehicles. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. There's some guys here that have there's a place over here. In fact, we did a video on it one time. It's an old Studebaker dealership, and the guy's got a bunch of old Studebakers stuff in there. There's an El Camino that the guy, I think it's a 51 Studebaker. It's got that one with a little bullet nose. They put that front end on that car, and I need to go over there and film it because it's cool. I mean, it was like the ugliest car ever built, as far as I'm concerned, but it looks really cool on this El Camino. It's great. Enjoyed the chat. Catch you on the next one, but gotta run. All right. Thank you, Ron. Thanks for coming on. George wants me to show you a tree out the window. I'm probably going to have to video chat you when you're done. Okay. Let me see where we're at. Oh, we're almost there. I ran paint for my Road Glide. It's sidecar. Ouch. Oh, yeah. You have a Road Glide? I used to have a Road Glide. I had an 04. And man, I'll tell you what, the guy that bought that bike had no idea what he got. He had no idea. That bike I've been working on suspension I worked with a guy, Terry Cable was the company, and we built dampeners, progressive dampeners, and then I would take the factory air shocks, we would disassemble them and add about 3 cc's more fluid, and would go to a thicker oil depending on the size of the people that were riding on the bike. And you could go over railroad tracks at 60 miles an hour and not even know it. It was just, and then I had another guy designed a thing that stabilized the back end so you didn't get that, where that, because the engine trans and swing arm are separate from the frame. When you lay them into a corner and you get into something, they get acting all weird. You have an '04 Glide with Texas side? Okay, you got a sidecar. Yeah. Peace out, bro. Okay. Thank you, Scott. I think I got your name right, Scott, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, that 88-inch motor was a good one. I ended up making mine a 95. Kind of wish I would have just left it 88. It had plenty of power, and I put the 510 cams and stuff in it, reworked the ignition and some other stuff, but it ran really good. And like I say, what I mostly worked on was the suspension. I take the swing arm on those and flip the swing arm upside down. It lowers it about 3.5 inches, and it just makes the bike handle so nice. It's just unbelievable. Have a great. Okay, everyone's leaving me, so pretty soon I'll just be here all by myself, and I'll sign off. Nice talking to you again. All right, thank you, Julio. You have a great evening. Enjoy talking to you. And you know what, guys? I'm over my time limit now, so thank you much for signing in. Kate, you want to say goodbye or anything? No? Party pooper. Sold it now have a 2009. Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, I'm my pet thing. My next bike's going to be there's probably a shovel head. Kind of convinced myself. I'd love to get a 66 through 69. Love you too, Lou. 66 through a 69 shovel, but probably going to have to get a cone motor, get an AMF. But I know how to fix those too. I can make them run. What's cool to do to those shovel heads is put Evo flywheels in them, man. That really wakes them up. I've done a few of those, and people were really surprised what a difference that does because the wheels are a lot lighter weight. All right, guys. Will you have fun? Thanks for watching. Thanks for thumbs up. I appreciate that. And you guys all have a great week. And next time you see us, it should be Darla and me. So it'll be exciting again. All right. Give my love to Darla. Missed her. Everyone else. Have a blessed and safe week. Don't forget to like for Bill. Night all. And with that,